if it costs over 200,000 Ghana cedis, let's say, to have a kidney transplant, do I have right now 200,000 Ghana cedis sitting in the bank just for that period where something happened or happens? Okay. If you do, that's a different conversation we have to have. Okay. But if you don't, insurance is particularly extremely important for you, and you should sign up today.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Prudent Money Show, brought to you by Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. My name is Kenny Ribeiro and I'll be your host for this edition of the show. Today we'll be talking about myths associated with the insurance industry, and I have with me in the studio two of my favorite Prudential Life Insurance employees. We have James Wood, who's the head of customer acquisition, and Paul Asafo, who's the head of agency training. I am sure that between them we have about 30 years experience of insurance, and they will be best versed to help us answer all the questions we have. We'll get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you, Malkini. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We'll go straight into it. So the first question is, how long have you been working at Prudential, and what do you like about working at Prudential?
I've been working at Prudential, actually, last week, I turned 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So 5 years now. What do I like about Prudential? Well, we work hard and we play hard. From where I come from in the part of the business, there's never a dull moment in distribution, for instance. Third thing is, there are always lots of activities that give you the opportunity to plug in and to grow and to develop. So really, if you're very growth-minded and oriented, it's a great place to blossom.
Fun fact, Paul is our de facto MC. He MCs almost all our events. He's very fun. So yes, he does have a lot of opportunity to plug in and grow. How about you, James?
So I've been at Prudential for the past 6 years. 3 fun facts. I love the fact that we're very innovative. We're always thinking of something new to do in the market. What I'd also like is our song, our Prue song. I think it's a go-getter. I love the action words in that song. And then thirdly, it's always morning in Prudential. So we always say good morning, Prudential.
I was thinking of putting you on the spot to sing the Prudential song, but
Please.
I don't think that would be fair to your audience. I'm sure, given how long you've been in the business, all sorts of things come up when you speak to people about insurance, including things like insurance is for old people. I will get it when I'm old. Right now I'm young. Let me have fun and chill and, live my life. What would you say to that? I'll actually start with James, because I know you have a background in actuarial science.
All right, thank you. So I would say insurance is a risk management tool, and insurance is used to meet needs, a certain need that every person has. Now, you may say that a young person doesn't have any need or any form of insurance needs, but the truth of the matter is there are certain things that happen to us in life that we can't control. So, in as much as you expect a young person to be healthy, it doesn't mean that bad things can happen to him. You could be involved in an accident, you could be hospitalized, and this is where insurance comes in to help protect you.
You have to say to that, Paul?
Well, in addition to that, actually, I'm sure you've heard the adage that both green leaves and dry leaves fall. So it doesn't quite matter whether you are young or you're old. Life does happen. Question is, when life happens as it might happen, where would it leave you? Okay, so questions we have to ask, for instance, are things like, when death comes, when it will, where does it leave you? When, like James said, when critical illness does come, what happens? Okay. Not just for you, but for the people who depend on you especially. Okay. And the burden that it will impose on them financially and not to talk of the other ways that a lack of finance imposes on other people. Yeah. So those are all areas that we have to think about. So it doesn't quite matter whether you are young or you are old. The same things can happen to you. Like James said, an accident, critical illness, death, unfortunately, going to college, retiring. Even though it seems very far off, it does and will come. And so you have to start preparing.
So what if someone says, okay, I hear what you're saying, but life insurance is expensive. I can't afford it. I earn a salary. It's only so much that I can do with that salary. What am I wrong to think, let me just wait a bit until I can earn, a bit more, and then it's easier to put away something?
In fact, one of my favorite questions. Let me ask you a few questions, Malcolm. Do you know anyone who suffered a stroke or kidney disease anywhere in your circles?
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you had, for instance, to raise money as friends and as family to help them through treatment?
Yeah.
Do you think that can happen to anyone?
Yes, but I don't think it will happen to me.
Okay. Do you know the cost of, let's say, treating or having dialysis treatment in Ghana? Averagely, if it did happen?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you know the effects if you had a stroke, for instance? The fact that you can't work, the fact that there are bills to be paid. Where is the next meal going to come from? So in your mind, insurance might sound or look expensive, but you have to answer these questions and ask yourself, so if it costs over 200,000 Ghana cedis, let's say, to have a kidney transplant, do I have right now 200,000 Ghana cedis sitting in the bank just for that period where something happens? Okay. If you do, that's a different conversation we have to have. Okay. But if you don't, insurance is particularly extremely important for you, and you should sign up today. Because the question is, if all of us knew what would happen, if we all knew when life would happen, when we would leave, if you knew, let's say, you'd exit on the 30th of June 2050, you just wait maybe on the 1st of January 2050, and you get a policy in 6 months. You'd exit, and then everybody will be fine. The thing is that we don't know
what will happen,
the time or the hour. So the best time is now, because we don't know the time, we don't know the hour, and we don't know what will happen to. So there's no better preparation than getting life insurance, and now. Thank you.
Okay. So James, what about if I say my company already has me on some sort of life insurance policy, so I don't need to get another one, and whatever it is that they are giving, well, I wasn't going to get anything, and now the company is giving me something, so why bother?
So I would say, well, great news that your company's provided some life insurance, but the question is, like I said, there's a need. You have a need to protect your life, but then you also have a need to protect the life of others. So the question is the insurance company or is your company actually providing or meeting all your needs? For example, are they covering your parents? If they are not, then you definitely need to buy another insurance product to cover your parents. Now, you don't know, well, I don't know whether your insurance company is covering you against all types of risks, such as critical illness or hospitalization. If they are not, then you also need to get a product that will help you protect against some of these risks.
So we hear what you're saying, but what if someone's perception is, it just feels like, okay, I do want to sign up for insurance, but it feels like a waste of my money. Every month you take money away from me, and I can be there for 10 years and nothing will happen to me. Why should I bother? Why can't I just keep that money in the bank, and then when it's time, I'll go and get my money? What do you have to say to that, Paul?
So, Malcolm, I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? So, I'm going to ask you. So, if you had a thousand Ghana cedis, okay, and you put 100 Ghana cedis, or you put 1,000 Ghana cedis, you save the 100 Ghana cedis every month, right? And in 1 year, something did happen, okay. You would have 1,000 Ghana cedis, 1,200 Ghana cedis that you've contributed over the 12 months, right? Plus maybe interest that you're not so sure of nowadays, okay. So no problem. Let's say you'd have that 1,200 Ghana cedis, okay. Now, for the same, let's say 100 Ghana cedis, if you said, or you walked to a financial consultant and said, these are my needs, for instance, if I'm not able to work anymore due to disability or due to, for whatever reason, if I went to work and didn't return, my household would need about this amount to live comfortably. Okay, if you said that, and you started paying bit by bit, okay, if something happened after 1 year, it is not the total of the premiums that you've paid that is due. It is that bigger sum assured, or that bigger cost of sustaining your livelihood that is due. Okay, so Malcolm, by all means, different kinds of investments are good, and it's good and great to always diversify and have different kinds of investments for different needs. Insurance is one of the very necessary parts of that plan, okay, because insurance guarantees that you, at a very little, for a very little amount of money, you can have secured that dream goal or that dream life or lifestyle you want to sustain. Okay, so the difference between an investment is that for an investment, you get what you invest plus interest. For insurance, you don't get the return of what you invest. If something actually happens, you get the sum assured, which normally are several times the multiples of what you paid. Okay, I wish I could give you some examples so that it makes a bit more sense. Okay, so that you can see why you need insurance. Maybe we'll do that later.
Actually, just indulge me a few seconds. So just give me an idea. If, for instance, let's take any of your products and tell me how much I could have been paying each month and what the possible sum assured could be. Just a rough estimate.
Okay, so let's say you wanted. I'll pick any of our flagship products. Let's say our Pro Wealth plan. Okay, now the Pro Wealth plan is an endowment product. Okay, it has a specific.
Please, what does endowment mean? Remember, I know nothing about insurance.
Okay. So it's a policy that has a specific term or a time period, and it pays a guaranteed benefit or maturity benefit at the end of that term. Okay, it also has several benefits that we pay out when certain things happen or occur, okay, that you don't foresee. Okay, so for instance, if you wanted a sum assured of, let's say, about 200 Ghana cedis, and let's say you are 39 or about 40 years, okay, for 200,000 Ghana cedis, you'll probably be paying between about 600 to 700 Ghana cedis to cover that. Okay. Now, for this monthly payment, we're saying that in 10 years, we'd have a guaranteed amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis for whatever the goal might be it the education of your child, to now secondary schools. You know that virtually it's not just the universities that are expensive. Okay, secondary schools are more expensive now. So for whatever the reason for the insurance, whether it's your child's education, whether it's securing an asset, whether it's planning for retirement, okay, that lump sum is given, okay, at the end of the term. Now, during the course of the term, if something you didn't foresee happens, like death, or like total permanent disability, okay, we pay certain specified benefits, okay, just to ensure that your dependents are able to go on and are able to live a fulfilled life without financial stress. Okay, all of these benefits an investment won't give. Okay, so it's important for us to realize in that basket which parts should be solely investment parts and which parts should be insurance and risk related. Okay, because they don't do the same things. Okay, for a premium, we say we would give you a sum assured or a benefit if a certain occurrence happened, okay, if something bad happened to you that we specify. Okay, and that's one of the key differences between just investing your money and buying an insurance policy or product. It's important that you realize that you'd have to buy according to your need. Okay, so you'd have to sit down and in that grand scheme that you have, figure out, I need, in 10 years, Adjoa has to go to the university. Okay, right now, Adjoa is, let's say, 8 years, and she's in class 3 or 4. Okay, in 10 years, whether I am around as the father or not, Adjoa has to go to the university. In this case, let's say Ashesi. Maybe it's free advertisement for Ashesi. But let's say Adjoa has to go to Ashesi in 10 years. Whether I am here as her father or I am not. What do I need to ensure that Adjoa goes to the university in 10 years? One part might be to save some money every month. Another good solution would be to buy a policy with my estimated cost of how much I think it would cost her to go to that university in 10 years. So that with that, whether I'm here or I'm not, it doesn't matter. Adjoa's university, she will go.
James, my question to you is about claims. Fine. Paul has convinced me, I've paid the money, I've gotten a policy, but it's time for me to get to make a claim. I'm assuming, based on the stories that I've heard, that getting a claim payment is complicated, it's exhausting, it's as if the insurance company wants to run away with my money, that kind of thing. What would you have to say about that?
All right, so what I would say is, first of all, when you buy a car, do you just start driving it, or do you find out whether it drives on petrol or drives on diesel?
I haven't bought a car before.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is it's important that when you buy a product, you need to understand what the product is about. So you need to understand the terms and conditions. Now, what happens a lot of the times is that people don't understand it, and so when they're making a claim, either they don't have the right information or they're making a claim for something that they haven't actually paid for. And the truth, I should say, is that Prudential, we love paying claims. In fact, that's what we're here for. However, if you're bringing a fraudulent claim, that's where you're going to have issues with us, because we are not here to pay fraudulent claims.
What counts as a fraudulent claim?
So a fraudulent claim would be in case you falsify documents, or the event happened and you decided to use someone else, or in fact you can actually falsify the death.
Oh wow. Like you fake your own death.
Exactly. The event hasn't happened, and then you put in a claim document and you bring a falsified death certificate also. But the truth of the matter is, if you do bring all the required documents, Prudential has no reason not to pay the claim, as long as it's within the terms and condition of the insurance policy you bought.
Have either of you had to make a claim for an insurance policy that you have?
I've made a maturity claim, so more of the term of the policy had ended and I was giving my money back.
I've made claims, yeah.
And they gave you your money?
Well, yes.
Okay.
So, and maybe you probably say it's because you are in insurance. So it's easier to get your money when you make a claim. But like James said, it's important to tell the truth as you fill the claim forms.
James, so let's hear your final words.
Let me say this. So just like you have a balanced diet, you have a little bit of carrots, a little bit of tomatoes, some
Plantain.
plantain. In your financial toolkit, you have some savings. Insurance is a risk management tool. Your savings is not what you want to spend when the unfortunate happens. That's what you follow insurance for. So even though sometimes it appears to be expensive, what you're really doing is you're saving a little money to help cover for an unfortunate event. And most of the time, you'll find that those who are happy insurance customers are those who have made claims, who have been paid claims, and happy. Unfortunately, it's only when the bad thing happens that you now see the usefulness of insurance. So my advice to everyone is look at your needs, look at your pocket, especially your pocket, and make sure that when you do sign up for the insurance, you keep on paying for it. And most importantly, make sure you understand the terms and conditions of your insurance policy so that at the point of claim, you won't be shocked or disappointed, especially when you make a claim for something that was not covered on your policy.
All right, Paul, your final words.
Okay, I think I'll talk about the insurance career. Okay, we do a lot of talking about what insurance is, your needs, why you need it, like we've said. But we don't talk much about growing a career in insurance, and specifically a sales career. And so I'd want to say and to share with you that the sales career as a financial consultant or a pro advisor with Prudential is probably for anybody listening, is probably one of the greatest decisions you can make. So if there's anybody who's looking for unlimited earnings, okay, if there's anybody, both of us work and we have capped earnings, we might earn a salary, but there are some of us and all of us have dreams and aspirations. For these dreams and aspirations, you need income, and you know the times that we are in. And so the right career probably for you as you listen to me is one that ensures that every inch of hard work is rewarded. One that makes sure that there's no limit to how much you can earn. Okay, one that says that what you put in is what you get. So I'd encourage everybody, especially every young person or anybody who wants a change of career, anybody who wants something different that gives them value, that gives them flexibility, that gives them significantly higher earnings. You just have to be great in your mindset and in your attitude and have the right qualification. Come, would welcome you, and together would ensure that you turn out good and rich.
Rich, and that will be the final word on today's episode of the Prudent Money Show. This has been most enlightening, and I'm sure you've had some questions answered, some myths better explained, and you are more than interested in signing up for yet another insurance policy with Prudential Life Insurance. This has been an interesting ride, and I look forward to seeing you in another episode. And always remember to make prudent money decisions. Bye.